If anyone has any questions, feel free to ask. I'll answer what I can right now. I'm flat. Waiting. It would make sense that they just want to keep taking this thing up. You know, they did this when it got close to 4,500. They stuck it up there, then they pulled it back in that 44 range, and it traded down there. And all of a sudden, one day they broke it and run it up to that 25, 30 area, and it's never came back since then. And that's about the same spot we are at now on this 4,600 level. And you just wonder, how high can this thing go? For sure, it can go higher than what I think it can. We got to get below our pivot now. If we can get below that pivot, we may test this low down here at the 25. So our numbers are now in, and we watch and wait. Remember, next 15 minutes, we've got some news coming out. Let's see what happens. Move some lines around this morning. Let's see, the intermediates that I have today is 34.46. And let's see, what was that other one? 57. And below that, I have 23.12 and 4,600. If we break below that, I've got plenty more. But that's all I've written down so far. The 34 was an intermediate, but our first two levels going to be up there around the 40. Let's see, the intermediates that I have now are above the pivot. I have 34, 46, and 57. And below our pivot, I have 23.12 and 4,600. Yeah. Yeah, I know how that feeling is. I hate that I missed that 30, that 34 area. I mean, I was just trying to get everything. I said, oh, it'll give me time. No, but it worked. And we'll post the levels in the chat again for those that came in late. If you look in the chat, you'll see our numbers that we're using. I gave out some numbers in between those numbers. Uh, the, I've got these levels far apart because of the volatility of the overnight, what happened overnight. I don't think we're down to a 1290, 13 handle VIX. We're back at our pivot. See that 28 and a quarter. Yeah. I'm just missing trades left and right this morning. I've got to get my head out of the sand. No, I've been doing this all last couple of weeks, and I've been telling them these are intermediate levels. I've spread the thing out far apart, and I go back in and I say, okay, what's going to happen between these areas? This is area, and really and truly, I could give you all these levels, but man, there's a ton of them. You'd have 10 levels above and below the pivot at a minimum, and they would be tight. And I can trade around them. I don't have a problem with it. But if you're not used to them, this thing will run over you, and it'll be as quickly as this thing is moving up from that Fed meeting yesterday. I'd said, I'm gonna put them apart, and I'll tell everybody about them. But it, I could have put that 34 in with the first level, but if we've been coming out the gate and it's been jumping 10 points, but I guess with the market the way it was high like this morning, it had to back down to. So we got people that were long overnight that's going to have to make up their mind. Is this, are we going to get out here? And then a lot of them are waiting till the news. We got news out in 10 minutes. So they either know something that we don't, which is not surprising. I have no idea where this market's going. When I open this thing up in the mornings, I'm seeing, okay, these levels that I saw, they were touched. That made them null and void, and I was trading levels this morning at 7:30. Uh, but I guess my point in all of this rambling is that, look, we come in no matter what the market's doing. This is what it's given us today to trade, and we have to figure out how to trade it. We have to figure out about where these levels are. Hey, we've never been up here, so we don't have any look backs to go back and take a gander. Oh, well, we saw that people bought in this area or they sold in this area, and we don't have that. We're using strictly the numbers. Now, I've got the wide set of numbers that I posted for conservative issues. And then I'm telling everybody about these intermediate numbers for the ones that are a little more risk averse, that's willing to take the risk. So that's the only reason, like I say, I've been doing this one for a good week and a half like this, maybe 2 weeks. And the reason is it seems to be working in this market environment where we're at for now. This, like all other things, shall change. The if you're looking at that 5-minute chart, until we get out of that range of that dominating bar above it or below it, we're just going sideways. We've come back to the pivot a couple of times. Could you have bought it? Sure. Could you have sold it? Sure. It was at that point in time after the first round to it, it's kind of like, okay, it's the more times that you go back to the water trough, the more, the probabilities of it working out start going against you. Now, with that said, I have taken 6 or 7 trades at one level just every time. And I says, as long as it's going to do it, I'm going to do it. But as soon as it fails, out of those 6 trades, I know I'm going to lose on one of them because this thing's going to not keep doing this. It's going to go. So if I got away with it once, I might try it again. If I got away with it again, I might try it again. So now I'm too positive. So even if I get hit on one negative, I've still made one. So I'm guilty of it. But I'm also greedy, and that greed bites me in the hiney every time I turn around. So I can tell you this: be careful. Now we're coming back to our pivot. Imagine that. I like that '06 area down there. We blew through it yesterday afternoon. I think we got up to what, 10, 12 area, 11, 12 area. Guys, if anybody's got any questions, feel free to ask. We got to come down to that 25 area. Below pivot there, we got some support down here at 23. If it would have went a little bit lower, I think I would have jumped on board with one. I'm looking to get back up to about the 29 area, but unfortunately, it's not giving me an entry, and I'm too slow. Let's see, what did I have? 17 and 23. Uh, well, 17 is our level. 23 is an area of support that we should get a little reaction off of. And also, if we break 23, we're looking for 17. If we get 17, then our next level would be 06, but then we have an intermediate space sitting around 12. And a lot of this intermediate stuff is just, this is where the volatility of markets lay. And the market's not, until yesterday afternoon, till the Fed noise, and that's to be expected. This thing seems to be rocking. It takes a long time for it to move 10 points. But those areas are good areas. They're solid areas. I just was Mickey Mousing around, and I missed this 27. You should be able to get 27, 29 out of it. It went up to what, 28.75. You ought to get filled at 29, but I didn't. I wasn't able to get it. So there's a 29. So you would have gotten filled, I think. Went to 29.50. If you had your order sitting there at 29, you got filled. I mean, I am slow on the uptake today. Now that 27 area is no, it was a price action play. And as it stands right now, I am flat, twiddling my thumb. Really and truly, I guess another reason that I'm not jumping on a lot of these trades is I've already traded this morning. Before the market even opened up, I've already traded. So I had some reasons, and so I'm sitting there. I'm going, okay, I might as well take them. So I took them, and they worked. But I missed that 27. I saw it, but I couldn't get in quick enough. But it looks like you could have taken it twice. But hindsight's 2020. I wish they'd say, okay, you can take this one twice, or you can take this one 3 times. If we only had that little crystal ball. Well, I assume our fearless leader made it in last night or early this morning sometime, so he may not be in till Monday. And they might have had flight delays. Who knows? When you fly nowadays, where you're going to end up. We had a level play, we had a blue band play, and a pivot play. We had a price action play down here around the 27, looking to get back to 29. It worked. Matter of fact, it worked twice, but I wouldn't count on it doing like that every time. Uh, we've got some support down here below the 23, or right at the 23. Our level is at 17. We're going to see how we're going to react around this 23 area. We've got a little bit of, yeah. I'm having a reason to buy the 26. After I look at it, maybe it wasn't the best idea in the world.
Hey, quick shout out. Welcome to Varun. Hey, Varun, welcome aboard. Give us a quick sound check. Then we'll provide you with the levels for today.
There they are.
Thank you, Don. Varun, Don just posted the, I hope we're pronouncing that correctly. Don, Trade Long Host just posted the levels we're working this morning. Welcome aboard.
Yeah, we got down to 24. We're coming into that, I call it the intermediate support. You took the 23. We're having to work it a little bit. If you don't like it, now's the time to make up your mind what you want to do with it. No, no. I am, I bought the 23s to get along. And the rules are 23 with a 21 stop. So if it's just rocking and rolling around here and you're not comfortable with the trade, that would have been a place to get out. It gave you a little bit, could have paid commissions, but it's not giving you either have to make up your mind. I don't like the trade. I'm scared of the trade. I'm going to bail the trade. I'm get out of the trade. My stop is in, you know, or I'm going to lose 2 points. One of the two. I'm going to either lose 2 points, make 2 points, or scratch the trade. And it gave you several opportunities in here to scratch the trade. So at this level, this intermediate level, we were looking to be able to go long for a couple of points, but it's not giving us that. And if you bought them straight up at the 23s, or if you got the other side the 23s, you made a little bit. So the area is, we've broken through it, but we're gonna have to break above it now to really pay off. So it's not doing what we want it to do, and And we've been in this thing about 5 minutes. So you either got stopped out, you broke even, got out of the trade. Our next level below is going to be down at 17. Uh, we'd have to get up above 20 or at least a 2375 to see this thing go up. But, it gave you another opportunity to scratch. So we've been there 4 different times. We need to get up to at least 75. Just going to see this thing go up. There we go. It's more better. If you're still holding on to it, you got some decisions to make. If anyone has any questions, feel free to ask. Weird. I scratched the 23. It didn't give me what I wanted as quickly as I wanted. Didn't lose anything. Didn't make anything. To be honest with you, the only trade that I've taken so far this morning has been that pivot trade. I figured that 23 should have yielded us at least 27. But it probably will. If you want to sit in it a while, you can. But I'm green and I don't want to risk what I've got unless I know what's going on. And right now, I see it, but I don't know when it's going to get there. I know we've got some resistance back up around the 25, 26 area. And also our pivot at 29. So when you draw a line through this 23, you can tell we've been, especially on this 1 minute chart, we've been up and down, up and down, up and down. So our area is correct. We just didn't get the reaction that we wanted off of it. So, unless there is a price action play in here to do, there was a little one in here, but you can't, no way we'd have gotten filled on it. It should come down to this 21.75. Now, once I say that, it'll just there it went. I mean, you would have had to been short right up in this area here, which I doubt we'd have gotten filled. Next level down below is going to be down at 17. Let's see, do I have anything that would... That 23 is just coming alive in here. I mean, we're just trading between this range of 24 and 20 right now. We're going to have to break. We're coming up into here, this 24, 25 area. We've got a little bit of resistance in here. I would look to see 27, but as you trade a while, you'll realize that, look, what I see on this 5 minute chart may take an hour or two. It's not, this takes 5 or 10 minutes. Sometimes it works, but sometimes it takes an hour or two. And so you don't want to be sitting on the wrong side of this thing in some big drawdown that could take days, if not longer. We want to get in, we want it to react. We don't mind working it, but there's got to be a time limitation on how long am I going to sit in this sucker. We had 17, it stopped at 18. We are just twiddling our thumbs. There was a little bit of support there at 18, but not much. It just, we're not getting much of a reaction. But it would not surprise me for this thing to go all the way down to 4606. We're still in the same bar. Let's see, we've got. We are working our 17 area.
Hey, quick shout out. Welcome to Adil. Hey, Adil, welcome aboard. Give us a quick sound check. Use the chat feature. That's Adil E. Welcome aboard.
If you had the 17s, it's giving you a place to get out. It's either that or you stopped yourself out. It I like the 15s, about the 15s and the 17s. You know, below the 17, we have the 12s. The 15 should give us 17 again. Not, it'll give you a place to bail your trade, which it did. So I scratched the level trade and made 2 on the 15, a price action trade. It is low today. Now the 17 is going to work. Go figure. That's all right. Scratch one, made 2 on the other. Yep. I'm going to be in the background if y'all need something.
Lauren, I posted, I think you might have seen it, the subscription access fee. I'm bringing it up is right now it's significantly discounted. It's for a month. Generally, it's $400 a month. Right now, it's on for $150. Anybody else that hasn't signed up yet, take advantage. Mike, why I know you were looking at it. Roop, how are you doing? Roop, I think you're signed up. Just let me know back in chat, Roop. Pat, how are you? Unless, how are you making out with the sound? We're here trading days from 9 a.m. to 11:30. Right now it's 10:35 a.m. Eastern Time. If we reach out to you and you don't answer, we think you don't care. If we think you don't care, we just exit you. If you want to take a coaching session from your trade along host, that's available. Hey, I said you had, did you give me a ring up on the phone? Give us a ring up on the phone? Yes, we checked this yesterday, right? Welcome aboard. Yeah, I was just giving you an update on the pricing.
I can put the levels in there if that'll help. Those are the levels that we see today. We're trading back up around this 20 area, which is a good sign.
Everyone, that's great. Appreciate it. Elaine, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, welcome aboard. You've come in as a guest. Welcome. We were chatting back and forth earlier. This is what we call a trade along, focused on the S&P 500 E-mini. If you're looking to pass a combine, I think it's a great instrument. If you're trading your own money, that's great. Don is our trade along host today. Allie, meet Don.
Good morning.
Don, if you get a chance, can you post the levels that you were working with today and just give a quick update of where we're at?
There they are.
That's a beautiful story. You're able to interact with your trade along host. The focus here is look to do 2, 3, 4, 5 trades, a pickup of 2 points plus. General defense here is 2 points. We don't do trades that, actually, I should put it this way. This is an educational format only. Don is trading his own account and is at risk. This is an opportunity from an educational point of view to do the same. He gives out a series of levels pretty close, tucked up to the cash open. Those become areas of interest. Price action trading is the methodology here. It's been around for a long time. It's our opinion, it's tried and true, and it can be learned. And it takes time and effort on your part. It takes time and effort on our part to help you first in this service as a trade along opportunity. And then if you decide to do a breakout session and have a private coaching session with your coach, that's what we do also. So Don, you got the ball.
Okay, appreciate it.
You got it, buddy.
We're looking, we should be around 2150. Looking, we ought to got back to that high right there. We've got a level sitting here at 23. There's our 2150. We're going to have to break above that puppy if it's going to go. Double top there. That kind of makes me wish I'd have held on to my 17. Let's see. Okay, Les, I'm not familiar with Trade of 8. Uh, I'm running Ninja Trader. Saul is running Trade Navigators. We went blank there for a minute.
Hey, Don, I can take this one for a
Okay.
second. Hey, Les, I know that there's been issues based on some of the issues with some of the things that Top Step is doing with some of their vendors, and I know they're working that out. From a trading capital point of view, I think you need to stick with what they're offering and then just switch to what they're offering as the best alternative or opportunity based on their platform. Once you're set up with a platform that you can count on, and once you're in the zone where you can practice trade and start getting better, based on your ability to trade, we can help you with that. This trade along is great for the concept of helping you frame based on the levels that Don gave out today, or the levels that are part of this trade along from an educational point of view. They're great for focus and discipline, but you have to get to the point where you're set up on your end and comfortable, and then the opportunity to step out and work with on a personalized level, if you so choose, with the trade along host in a private session, a private Zoom room, and help you work on or work out the kinks in your own trading. And then you come in here as a support system for what you just learned and your application of what you just learned. So this trade along is for individuals that have a trading skill and are looking for better levels equal better trades, and the ability to trade along with an individual to help them based on their trading from an educational point of view only during the trading day, and to supplement traders that are looking to learn a discipline, this is great to pick up on it, and then also spin off or break off into a private session where you can ask specific questions about, I guess the first one would be price action trading. How do I do it? What is it? How do I do it? How do I practice it? And then the concept here is that you can do that in and around the pre-mapped out levels that were posted. But I think it's important that individuals work with Top Step, get your system solid to where you're happy with it, practice the heck out of the account, focus on discipline and passing your combine, with Top Step or whatever or whoever you're working with. We just happen to be affiliate of Top Step. And we're here to help you bridge the gap between, from an educational point of view, picking up your 2 points plus in a disciplined fashion, and then adding contract size as you go forward, and here for you to lean on, ask questions to. And one of the nice things about this service is that you're dealing with an individual who is also trading by price action, trading in and around these levels. They could be doing price action trading generally. They could trade around the pivot that's posted. And that's really an advantage to you from a, hey, I've got a trade along partner. B, I've got levels that I can look at and pay attention to and plot into my software. But you have to get back to the basics. There is no, one of the things that Don had mentioned and we mentioned is that you have to have a trading technique where there are stops involved, there are price targets involved. When you get into a trade, you should know your exit strategy, why you got into the trade, and what your stop placement is, and then how to work that trade. Now, that all comes with practice. It comes with asking questions, and it certainly comes with plotting the levels that Don gives out as an educational opportunity to help narrow the focus down. You'll quickly pick up, I think, that the levels that are given out, depending on the trading day, are very good. There can be some aberration here and there based on market action activity, but that goes with the territory. There's also adjustment that happens based on the action of price and what's happening in the marketplace. Anyway, so that's it. Let me know if we're going to talk on the phone today. And you're getting some nice feedback from others that are involved with Top Step 2, and we appreciate it. I'll be in the background if you need me. Don, I just wanted to cover that for you.
Okay, no problem.
It's just give me a call. I have my phone on. Call me after the morning session, and we'll help you get set up. Patience is the game here. Money is money. The opportunity is opportunity. Make sure you're set up first with what you need and what works. Play around with it until you're comfortable. Play around with your order entry. Come to the table with an organized opportunity to work on your own trading skill based on what you bring to the table. And we can help you from there. Okay, so I'll be in the background. Thank you.
Well, we've bounced up to our 23 area and it stopped again and it's bouncing back off of it. To me, I've had A-Signal, I've had Metastock, I've had Ninja Trader, I've had Interactive Brokers. I've done a little bit of Trade Navigator. All of it's a chart, You like candles, you can turn them all to candles. If you like bars, you can turn them. If you like the ring codes or line charts, you can set just about all of them up now the way you want them. There's nothing special about the chart. The only thing that I would say consider, no matter whose charting software you got, is your data getting there fast enough. Now, keep in mind that we can have the fastest computers in the world, but if we've got a low uh, internet connection, it won't matter. I can have a Volkswagen with a 454 in it that it won't stay on the ground. So you kind of match, because you can only shove some. Even though our data that we're receiving here is not very much as far as data transfer goes, and it doesn't have to be that high. I mean, but I think mine's about 300 megabytes per second, my internet speed. And that's what you pay for, and you probably be lucky to get 250. But for me, it's plenty sufficient. Now, there are times when I'm lagging a little bit, but that's comes from the data suppliers. And I know through the years, I've used a lot of years using e-signal. And finally one day I said, I'm paying $1,000 here, so much there. And I says, all I need is a chart. And so I get my data from Interactive Brokers. I already owned a lifetime's deal to Ninja, so I'm using Ninja. If I didn't own it, I'd just find me another simple chart to use. Just there's no magic bullets. So we went from our 17 area back up to the 23 area. And now we're waiting again. Yeah. Yeah. My mother-in-law has Cox, and yeah, it's you almost have to stay on them. I know out here where we trade at, all of a sudden we start having internet problems, and we're far enough out of town that during the summers when it gets hot like this, they have to go back into their main panels that are out on the poles that feed big sections, and they have to adjust the speed for the heat, because the things get too hot and it slows down. They don't like doing it, except I'm friends with the guy that does it, and so he makes sure that my speeds are where they need to be. And in the wintertime, when it gets cold, it's just the opposite. They have to go increase it. And so that's the problem that we have out here. Yeah, I I wouldn't. I'd go to Cox and have a little heart to heart with them and say, look, guys, what is my internet speed? And you can do that just by typing in internet speed and pull it up and run a speed test on it. Yeah, you just go to Outlook or something like that and type in internet speed, and it'll throw a thing, and you click on it and it'll tell you what you have to know what you're paying for. And if you're not getting what you're paying for, you call them and say, look, I'm only getting this amount of speed. And something else too, if your routers are old, that will cause your speed to drop. And or if you're using I buy my own routers. I don't use the cable company's routers. Even though their new routers are up to date, and they're probably the latest and the greatest, and mine's getting a little old now. But the only thing I need is a chart. Guys, it is just, I have missed so many trades today. It's not even funny. I think I might as well I'm trading with my eyes closed. Uh, but knock on wood, I haven't lost anything. And I tell you what is affecting us out here in our area is people stealing the cable. They're climbing the poles, cutting the cables down, and selling it for scrap. It's kind of like one day you got connection, the next day you think, "Where's my internet connection?" And you call in, say, "Oh, they stole our cables, our phone cables, and our not so much the our cable." Because it's most of it now is all fiber optics, but they're telling me that the fiber optics is worth as much, if not more, than the copper. So I'm going, man. And I'm in agreement with you. You know, when I left eSignal and I pulled my Ninja charts up, I knew that they were. It's a 5 minute chart or hourly or whatever. It's the same thing. I can change the color of the bars, do whatever I want to, but then you gotta figure out where all this stuff's at, and it just takes a little bit. But once you find it, then you know where it's at. If you're like me, you'll forget, so you'll have to go look for it again. But you know, it's just a chart. There's nothing special about them. That
You had a question from Alan,
okay, I missed it.
and it was on your topic.
Okay,
And Alan, let us know what you're using now. What are you currently set up with? What's your platform?
oh,
And just know we're focused on the S&P 500 E-mini here.
okay, okay, Alan. I'm gonna post the levels if you hadn't seen them. At about 8:30 in the morning, I give out these numbers. I give out a pivot, resistance above, and support below. And in essence, as we're coming down, and normally you will not see this chart here at all in Saul's thing, because he has a 5 minute, an hourly, and a bond chart. That's it. That's all you see. And I don't have Trade Navigator up and running, or I'd show it to you. We have basically two bands. Well, let me tell you what, probably easier just to show me. Let me show you this. I mean, basically, he has a Bollinger bands, which you see right here, and he has the blue band, which we call it. It's the center of the Bollinger band, and we have on this thing here. We have. Let me see if I can. They'll allow me to stream this morning. We have 200 period moving average. This is on the hourly. Let's see. I have no idea where it is on this 5 minute chart. There it is. And that's it. There's nothing special about these charts. Now, my charts. Let's see if I can get out of this thing. This is my blue band. This is my 200. I have a 50 on this. Other than that, he has Bollinger bands, which they are on here. I just don't know how to trade them. These are these dots right here. These are the red bands on his. I just colored mine white so I don't have to look at them. I use Don chain channels. And we're coming down into this 12 area, which we should see a little bit of bounce. You got to fill on your 12.
The other thing I'll just jump in quickly is that all this can be taught.
Yeah.
So if anybody is starting out that's new and needs the frame to be able to set this up,
I'll be right back,
and this
Brad.
can be taught. You got it. This can be taught based on the relationship with this service. So obviously the service is a paid service, right? So I think he put up the so this is broken down into various opportunities. The first one is this trade along to be here. I think it's a great start. You get yourself set up on your end. You spend some time in here. You ask questions, you interact. And then once you're stabilized based on your platform, then you can be part of this trade along, receive the levels in the, right up against the cash open here. So everybody knows it's 9:30 Eastern time. Right now it's 11 a.m. Don is a trade along host. This is focused on the S&P 500 E-mini. This is a great instrument, I believe, my opinion only, to focus on and help you do well in your own trading as the instrument, and also look to do well based on your combine. Having said that, we don't make any promises anybody will make any money trading. Trading is a individual sport, and you're bringing to the table what you're bringing, and we can help frame you, discipline you, work with you, be a trade along partner from an educational point of view, provide key levels and areas in the form of a pivot and other levels on top and bottom of that pivot, and then go through the morning session together. Instead of chatting it up, and the morning session I think should be concentrated, or have the concentration where it's you and your trade along host without any distractions, and interaction with some of the other individuals that are part of the service, and that's it. That's my opinion for you when it comes to you trying to develop trading skill and get better at it. Concept of consistent profitability is what we're trying to get to. You can witness what's going on based on Don and how he is doing his business. You can have a relationship with a trade along host based on your conversation back and forth as it relates to the markets and the S&P 500 E-mini. But on your end, you need to come to the party with, and we can point you in the right direction for a trading platform. I think when you're dealing with Top Step and looking to trade their capital, they have a menu of ones that you can work with. And it can be a version of what Don is using here, but it's done through their service based on their relationship with their vendors. And that's all set up on their end so that they can manage you, control you, and give you the opportunity to use their capital. Having said that, this is what we do. This is a service for you to get better at your trading. It's a service for you to buckle down and really focus, and to have somebody to trade along with as you do that. Our breakout sessions are, topic specific. One is price action trading. How do I do it? You work with the individual trade along host in a private session, and you learn, and then you come in here as a proving ground for what you just learned. It's very simple stuff. It's not easy. I think trading is very easy. I think the concept of trading is very easy, but the making money part and consistent profitability is elusive. And that takes time, effort, and practice on all parties' part, and there's no guarantee you even get there. And if anybody promises that stuff, just run. If you like what we're doing here, refer your friends. eminitradealong.com, eminitradealong.com. We also have live trade along. I'm sorry, tradealonglive.com, tradealonglive.com. Anyway, I'll be in the background. Don will be coming in and out. It's 11:04. We wrap this thing up at 11:30. We like to be done for the day, come back and slug it out again tomorrow. It's a very focused effort to pull out points in the marketplace from a disciplined point of view. And I'll turn it back over to Don. He's back.
Okay. Well, guys, if you took the 12, you got paid off. I mean, that was the way we like a trade. It hit, bounced, and took our money and sitting on the sidelines again. Our next level below is going to be around the 06 area. We bounced from the 12 back up to our 17 area. So the areas that we're doing, that they are working, and just the levels in there. We just had to have been patient and waiting. We had 34 this morning. We got up and we got triggered in. I did not get that trade. I was doing stuff and it went down. Our pivot was down here at 29. We bought the pivot. It got paid off. There were some price action trades going on in here. The 17, if you took the 17, it gave you time to get out several different times, and it went down to 15. If you had a mechanical stop in there, you might not have got. I bought the 17s and the 15s, and I got out of my 15 when we got back up there, and I scratched my 17. So I had a reason. This is another, I had the reason to do it, and so that's the reason. But anyway, our 12, we had a level in there. It's an intermediate level that we had this morning. It was at 12. It's not posted. If you were in the room, that you heard me discuss it and talk about it. The 17 was a level. And then we had the 12. And our next one below that 12 is going to be the 06 level. And I was saying earlier, I would not be surprised if we get down to 06. So anyway, it's 10 o'clock. I basically have taken 3 trades. I took the 17, I took the 12, and I did a price action trade in there, and that was it. And so there was an easy 6 points in there. Easy 6 points. 6 points does not sound like a whole bunch, but there are days that, we only had 5 points. Then there are days that we just went from bad to worse. But we're kind of keep our losses in check, and so far we're doing. It doesn't mean we won't have losses. I have had some losses, but our wins outweighed our losses. But this is, I was telling them earlier, I came in earlier. I was in here at 7, a little after 7, and at 7:30, the market started. It had some news out. It popped out, and I was trading then. And so basically I could have quit then, but now I got to keep going. And for right now, I'm glad I did. Uh, it's for me, the more money or the more points, let's talk points. The more points that I make, the more cautious I get because I don't want to, give back any of it, so I get more selective and more selective. And we know that if you trade after 10:30 in the mornings, things are going to slow down. And we also know that if you get trading in the afternoon, that it's more of a one-way type trade, and you don't want to be on the wrong side of it. And so trading the afternoon session is a lot more, to me, it's harder than the morning session because people have already made up their minds which way this market's going in, and they forgot to tell me for some reason. So I am setting in for Saul Shaul, which I don't look to see Saul tomorrow, but he should be back Monday. I imagine he's worn out from his trip. So I hope they did real well on their tournament they went over there to play. We're leaving 10. We're looking for 06. I know that 10, 11 area has some, the high yesterday was at 1075. But I'm still looking for this 06 area. So, but the market it's been orderly on the way down. It is stopping at our areas and giving some kind of reaction. May not be what we want, but it's given us time to scratch the trades. And so far, they worked real well. And I'm impressed that the numbers work up here in areas we've never been to before. So I'm going, well, I'm impressed. So guys, if you got any questions, now's the time to ask them. And if not, I'm going to be in the background and I'm going to be shutting this thing down probably by 10:30. I'm going to say adios until tomorrow. We don't like to trade past about 10. I am basically, I'm finished. After that 12, I'm finished. Well, I don't care where it goes now. But if you're going to trade, this numbers that I've put out should work till tomorrow morning. That should work. If you're a night trader, they'll work around the night areas. They'll work around the day areas, all the rest of the day. And the numbers are far apart, enough apart. If we go down 50 points today, we're coming back to that 12 area. So you just have to watch and see how it works around the 12. Brad, you'll have to answer this question about Top Step. You got your ears on? I don't know if he's hearing me or not. Mauricio, let me, I'm trying to get his attention. Let's see what he'll do. You got your ears on? Hold on. There we go. You got your ears on now, huh? Now you
I
got,
should get like, I guess you get like big rabbit ears.
yeah.
Right? Put a rabbit ear here and a rabbit ear here.
There you go.
I
Okay.
just posted it to
Okay.
him,
Good.
so I appreciate it. Thanks for getting my attention.
No problem.
I was working out. See?
That's it. That's what I need to do.
All right. I just did this first time ever today.
I'll tell you what, sitting
First
around
time
trading, it makes you lazy.
Well, it's funny because I just started taking, everybody's taking Ozempic.
Yeah.
Well, I have an issue that I got to handle based on blood sugar.
Yeah.
So I'm taking, I think it's Monjaro, which is a sister of the other. I think it's a different product, but it works similar. And yeah, I just started that too. So I figured I might as well actually try to do something, and that's what I'm trying.
Well, good. I'm fixing to shut this thing down.
Yeah, we're coming into 11:30.
Yeah.
That'd be fine. Can you keep the charts up for a little bit?
Yeah, I'll keep them up to around 10:30 if that's all right.
That's perfect.
Okay. Guys,
You and I talk. You talk 10:30. I talk 11:30.
That's right. Eastern and Central.
Beautiful. I appreciate it. Hey, Don.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much.
You're more than welcome.
We'll be back here again tomorrow, and we appreciate your ability to walk and chew gum at the same time.
Today I'm not doing too good of a job at it.
Hey, listen, none of this is easy. So
if
anybody says it's easy, I was telling everybody to run, right?
Yeah. Isn't that the truth?
But it takes time, effort, and also I thought it was interesting because you really need to be set up, focused, calm, for the learning experience.
Yeah.
And I think that takes some time and effort just to do that. So.
Yeah. Just to see it and then act on it, not pay it. You don't care if you win or lose. That's the trade. You just do the trade.
Right. And also practice, right?
Yeah. And so
that's interesting too. I know people that start up their platform and they're all like, but if you're in simulation, just do everything you can. Just try to mess it up.
Yeah.
Right. Try to, just whip it around.
Yeah.
Until you can boil yourself down to, discipline.
That's it.
I mean, not a real money. I'm talking about in simulation with a P&L setup. Which I think is the place to start for everybody.
It's like everything else now. I've been doing this a while. I can do it. But as I come in and I step into Saul's shoes, I learn some more. So it's constant. We're evolving.
Hey, this is an everyday experience because not only that, the markets I consider them alive.
Yeah.
They're doing their own thing.
And
you're just playing along with what they're doing.
I'm just so impressed that these numbers are working out at these levels. We've never been here before, so I'm going, I don't know if they're going to work up there or not, but so far, every time we pop in new highs and stuff, we're popping right around our levels.
Yeah, and it's funny because while you're paying attention based on your risk, right?
Yep.
That could change.
That's right.
You have to be aware. The levels are a good framework, right?
Yep.
But you're really what do they call it? You're not only reacting in around them, but you're also adjusting and tweaking what's going on based on the levels.
Yep. So,
But anyway, I think we've had some good time together. I
yes.
think you and I should have a conversation, which I think might be interesting. And Saul will be back, and we'll try to keep all this going because I think it's been fun. And I think it's also been good for us because I think that the dialogue is a good dialogue. And I think that that's part of it.
And it's, I ran a quick count yesterday, and I think yesterday was what, 16 days, 17 days, something like that. And because I normally don't keep track of points and price.
This is for yourself too. This isn't this has nothing to do with what somebody else is doing.
Yeah,
this is what you're doing based on your craft.
Well, this is what we did based on what Saul is. The price action, the blue bands, the pivots, the levels. We've accumulated right at 175. Well, today we're over 175 points. So
I think that's wonderful because it's interesting to me that this can be taught and learned.
Oh, right? Yeah. Yes.
But it's also interesting to me is that that's what you were able to see and do.
Yeah.
Based on your skill set. And that's the skill set others may want to learn.
Yeah.
And that's part of it. That's part of what we do.
Yeah.
Right. We're dealing on an individualized basis. Like when Saul trades.
Yeah.
He has a methodology. When you trade, you have a methodology, price action. And that's what the opportunity is for other people.
Yeah. Well, we tried
the same thing.
We tried to keep it as close to what Saul does and what he teaches as possible.
Sure.
Now, there's probably some price action trades that I threw in there that come from from my experience. I see it do this. Okay, it should do that, and
that's the beauty of being an independent, disciplined. And not everybody can be disciplined all the time. That's a tough thing to do. And I think showcasing this live is very tough to do.
Yeah.
And for anybody.
Yeah.
And then also to be able to keep credibility because you're putting your stuff on the line.
Yeah.
Right? You're jawboning, you're acting, and it's very hard to do that and not be good at your craft.
Yeah.
It's really tough because people trip up on themselves all the time.
Yeah.
That are faking it. I mean, it's pretty witnessable if you ask me. But anyway, so I'm exercising.
It's been a wild morning.
I'm exercising while we're working.
Oh,
and good times.
Yeah.
So eminitradealong.com, eminitradealong.com, or if you like, tradealonglive.com.
Okay, I have a question for you.
Sure.
If I'm going to send somebody to the room, how do they get into this Zoom room?
So okay. So do you have a browser?
Yeah.
So go up to your browser. What do you use? Google?
I've got them both. I use Outlook Express, Google, either one. Or Edge.
What's out? Oh, Edge. Yeah, that's the other crazy one, right?
Yeah.
So put up a Google one.
Okay.
And in the search bar at the top.
Okay, hold on. Google. Okay.
Put in emini tradealong.com. And when you
Okay.
hit enter, what happens?
Okay. Then it throws up the deal and you put your name and so forth in there.
Yep.
Okay.
That's as easy as it is. So when I give that out to everybody, I'm hoping that's what they put in. And then it just comes up. So it's a drop right into Zoom, our home base.
Yeah.
And I'm not a fan of websites.
Yeah.
Because they just get in the way.
Okay.
So I want people to come in here as a guest and then transition over to paid.
Yeah.
So that's the world that we've created.
Okay.
And then they have to attest to all the risk disclosures and all that stuff via the entrance into, like, let's say you kept going down and, coming into, what we call the Trade Along Trading Academy and then into the webinar E-mini Trade Along. There's all sorts of attestments that an individual has to make to know that, this is trading education, not follow me trading, or, the risk is on them, not us.
Yeah. Okay.
So I created that so that it works.
Yeah.
I'm just hoping that, as we get out of the box here, people will find us, join us, and come in and be part of the trade along as a paid subscriber, and then ultimately break off into classes based on our trade along hosts.
Okay.
And you be it, my friend. You be it.
Huh.
You're it.
I'm
Tag,
in.
you're it. You're it. Tag, you're it. Now I got you climbing on the pole to steal.
I like my little
to catch
obscure
your
hole over
neighborhoods.
here.
I know, right? That's right. You're going to be showing us the whole thing, man. I still think you should break out that hat every once in a while and give us a peek. I think that's great. Saul loves it too.
Welcome to Texas. I need to get me I need to get me a new straw hat. That felt hat's for winter.
Well, listen, I think you got to get the right hat. I mean, whatever it is, winter, summer, fall, right? As long as you have the right hat.
Yeah.
You're starting to develop that kind of status, right? You're breaking out on the internet. They'll be like, "Hey, it's the guy with the hat."
And be like Les. This is finally to hear somebody that sounds like me.
Right? Yeah, I think that's important. It's all good, right?
Oh man,
it's all good. I believe that this is an opportunity for everybody, and everybody should at least try, and then try to get good at it.
Yeah. What's the old adage? I mean, you can't win unless you play. You don't ever play.
I know. I bought Powerball the other day, saying the same thing. I didn't win.
Hey, but you never know when you're going to win or not.
I listen. Lightning can strike, right?
That's it.
I go outside in a rainstorm. I'm like, oh my god, I don't want to get hit by lightning. But when I go to the lotto store, I'm like, yeah, okay, I'll take a few blasts.
Hey,
in here. Gonna get there. Look at that. You have a archive to do.
Yeah, I'm getting rid of all of that. I don't archive anything.
Do you have the other software all set up, right?
The Trade Navigator?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I just shut down.
Oh, good.
There'll be some questions asking every now and then. I'll pull it up and let people see what normally is on the deal instead of my charts. We had one of the people in the room was asking about what all these lines were. And normally there's just 3 lines, the blue line, and the green line, and the Bollinger Bands, and that's it.
Well, it's interesting because if you're posting levels and you're doing those trades, or even the price action trades or the level trades,
yeah,
ultimately that's all you really need.
That's it. If you're trading,
start to really understand and get good.
Yeah.
But I believe you should trade when you're in here with what you are most comfortable with. And I also think narrowing people down to shed some of the noise that's in their trading room and also on their trading screen and their trading charts or anything that's in the background,
Yeah.
so that they're focused on the action of price
Yeah.
in the S&P 500 E-mini versus all the crazy stuff that's around them.
Yep.
And once you do that, I think you've got a real shot at, picking up on the nuance of the action, which I think is all good.
It, basically most of these moving lines is just, I'm more focused on the numbers now than what I am on the lines. I know there's some things on here that I use, and if I don't use them, I get rid of them, but they don't come into play every day. And so in my little 1 minute chart, there's some of Saul's stuff, some of another person's stuff, and some of my stuff. And I know what they are. But I might use 2 or 3 of them, and that's it.
Well, it's interesting. I think if you were starting out in trading, right?
Yeah.
Wouldn't you want to put the least amount possible?
Keep it simple.
To get the job done.
That's right.
And then if you find something special, then you put that in instead of starting out with every crazy wacky thing that software throws at you.
Yeah.
Right? Nobody understands anyway.
This chart really does not have much stuff on it. I mean, instead of I've got Bollinger Bands on here, but you can't see them unless I click on that right there. Now you see the Bollinger Bands. I just colored them white because, first of all, I don't know how to trade these outer bands anyway, so what good are they? The blue band is still in the center, like it should be. But I use Dawn chain channels instead of Bollinger Bands because I know how to do that. And the only other thing that I have on my chart is this red line right there, which is a 50-period moving average. But these are the original setups that when I first started with Saul, these are parameters that I started with. So I continue with them.
Well, it's interesting. And I think we should probably think about this is that so depending on what people have, right?
Yeah.
There should be a standardized screen.
Yeah.
For this service.
Yeah. And that's
what we used to give it out.
Well, that's what we did to Trade Navigator. I took these parameters and put them into Trade Navigator. Same thing. The only difference between Trade Navigator and this right here is this blue line right there. This is a Bollinger, and this is, I think, a 20-period or 21-period moving average. I forget what the parameters were on it. But that's the only difference.
Yeah, so I think that's part of, what we're going to look to provide.
Yeah.
Because I think it's important for people to start out at a basic level.
Yeah.
So that they can appreciate the levels, B, the action of price, and then being able to practice and practice and practice until they become comfortable enough to start doing well. Consistent profitability with a trading plan is the way to go.
Yeah.
And then, in simulation, and then the breakout into real-time trading should be another disciplined approach to trading.
Yeah.
And I think there's a lot of people that get overwhelmed, with the process.
Yeah.
And they think they've got to be part of the, I don't know, mass opportunity, and feel like they're missing something if they're not doing it. You know what I mean? Like, even though they don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
I mean, how scary is that?
Yeah.
And the software to me is a false friend, because when you download a platform, everything is driving you to putting trades on and taking them off.
Yeah.
It's like a one-armed bandit.
Yeah.
You got to take control of the bandit and control it yourself.
I mean, you can't get much simpler than this chart right here.
No, sir.
It is.
Now, so the question is that, let's say you had somebody that said, hey, I'm new. What do I do? and then you give them a chart, and then you got to make sure that their order entry is good,
Yeah.
and then they can load in the prices. I mean the levels.
Yeah.
And that's the fundamental stop for this opportunity.
Yeah.
This fundamental setup. A lot of people don't even do that. They don't know how to put the levels in the, load them into your software.
Yeah.
And I wish they would ask, because that can be taught.
Yeah.
You could show them how to do that, right?
Yeah.
That's not hard.
You just go down there and I know how to do my dome. I would tell anybody that's starting out trading is first learn how to do your order entries and exits. Learn where this stuff is at, that you can press a button and you can get out and you can do these things. And I have a button on mine that says close. When you press it, it gets you out of the market instantly. You may not like the price it got you out of, but it got you out. Or if it's going up and you're making money, a lot of times I'll press it and I'm out, Maybe there was $200 in the trade when I pressed it, but it bounced back and I only got 150, 175, but I got out.
And you know something? I think order entry in a coaching session, like there should be like a basic coaching session.
Yeah.
This is how you set up to do your trading, from our perspective. So, and then you have a screen up, in his private Zoom room where you're in there with that individual and you do basic stuff.
Yeah.
It could be Q&A, and that could actually be a group one if we wanted to set it up that way.
Yeah.
But it's just a matter of flow.
Right? Well, Saul's got a different trading deal that he uses. I'm using Ninja, which I've used forever. And so depending on who you're using, I have a dome, and I like the dome to trade off my dome because I can see it. And if you add it to the chart, I have Chart Trader too, where I can do everything I do on my dome on my chart. But then I got all this other clutter bouncing around in, and I don't need it. I just trade.
Yeah, and that should be added in as appropriate if it's an aid, not a distraction.
Yeah. Some people think it's better to trade off the chart so you're focused right in on the chart. And, I guess there's some validity to it. But, I can, because if I turn on Chart Trader, man, it's got all the trades that I put on and it posts them in entries. And the next thing you know, you got a disaster on your chart where it printed all this stuff on top of it. It's kind of like, nah, I don't want Chart Trader.
Yeah, no, listen, I appreciate that. So I think that there should be a what do I call it? A breakout, not a breakout, a coaching session that should be, this is take a coaching session and learn how to get set up to trade. Done.
Yeah.
That's the coaching session, right?
Yeah.
And that's something that an individual would pay for, to have that kind of hand in setting them up to start out the right way.
Yeah.
I may start bringing that up.
What is the deal from the combine over there? What kind of programs are they using?
So, well, I guess, I did give you access to it, right?
Their program or their website?
Well, they have a Discord room.
Yeah, you gave me access.
And you have Discord. And in the Discord, they have different areas that you can actually read about the fundamentals of, there's a room, a link that brings you internally into their Discord that has a description of the fundamentals of futures.
Yeah.
That's one. Then what you can do is when you sign up to become part of their world, you have a choice of different platforms. So you can use Trade Navigator.
Yeah.
And then what happens is when you sign up, you get a Top Step infused platform that you can now trade on with the charts of Trade Navigator. That
Okay.
becomes your world that gives you your order entry, your P&L, and everything is done and controlled by Top Step in the background, so that they can monitor your advancement and success. You're working within their system that's connected to Trade Navigator. So you could pick other charting like NinjaTrader,
Yeah.
or they've been having some issues with, it's like the old, like they have Tradeovate, I think it's called.
Yeah. But
And
is
they have
that their software?
no,
Okay.
no, that's another outside entity that they connect to. It's I believe, and I'm just might be talking out of school, is that it's a peer-to-peer way to trade the futures, and it's a very inexpensive round turn when it comes to the commissions,
Yeah.
but it doesn't have any support, or has
Yeah.
I shouldn't say that. I think it has limited support, but everybody has to have their own experience with it.
Yeah.
But I think that they had an issue over the last couple days or maybe a week with Tradeovate, that they, people were not having a good time with their account with TopStep,
Yeah.
and vis-a-vis Tradeovate, and they were trying to figure it all out. But you have to remember, a lot of the stuff that's out there, you really need to have that combination of price and customer service. And a lot of times people don't realize that,
Yeah.
and I think it's interesting, because if I thought about it, if you're trading Top Step's money, right, and you're getting a split of the revenue, there's a revenue share going on. You're also, I believe, paying commissions and all sorts of stuff to whoever the broker is. I don't know how Top Step participates in that, but the point is that if there's an issue with a particular firm, then I think it might affect Top Step too,
Hmm.
right? Because you're using their money. Like, you don't have to have any money up
Yeah.
in dealing with Top Step. You're using their capital, so you pay a fee to try to use their capital on a monthly basis. If you pass their test, then they set you up with capital based on how much you're paying for, and then you use that leverage to trade your, let's say, S&P 500 E-mini, and then there's a revenue split and a payout schedule. So it's very popular with people that are trying to trade on other people's money,
Yeah.
but they have to pay the freight to, have the right.
Yeah.
I'm not even sure what the amount is. Let's say it's $175 a month or $250 a month for the ability to try to pass the threshold to pay their money, trade their money. And I think then there, there is an opportunity. That's why I always encourage people to read the, we have an affiliate link.
Yeah.
To read the affiliate link. Read the press on the affiliate link and read the following, which is their process and methodology and how to get to trade their money.
Oh,
But it's really a unique opportunity for individuals.
Yeah, I can see where if you're new to trading and you don't have the capital, it's a way in the door.
Absolutely. And that's why we're affiliated with them, because it gives us another avenue and opportunity for them. All right, now, so I am going to exit. You are exited. We'll see you come back tomorrow. Appreciate it.
Brett,
We'll be back here at 9
answer
a.m.
this
tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. We got a question? Go ahead.
No,
I
I was reading my own question. Sorry about that.
You're answering your question. Ask me to answer the question.
Yeah.
All right. So eminitradealong.com, eminitradealong.com. Put it in your browser. It'll drop you register, drop right into Zoom. You have a guest pass, and then we'll take it from there.
See you tomorrow, bud.
You got it.